Tonight we have the honor of welcoming to the podium a Camp Horseshoe alumni from Troop 382. He is a Vigil Honor member and Founders Award recipient from Nantego Lodge 20. From Millsboro, Delaware, please welcome our 2019 National Chief of the Order of the Arrow, Matt Parsons.
Good evening, everyone. So I think first and foremost, before I get started in introducing myself and telling a little bit about my history with Camp Horseshoe, can we just have a huge round of applause for whoever prepared the meal and the cooks in the bathrooms that made it? I've had the opportunity to attend a few banquets this year, and I hope no one's recording this because that was by far the best food I've had. So don't send that to anyone else. But
no social media.
Yeah, exactly. No social media. But so my name is Matt Parsons. I come from Millsboro, Delaware. What people in Delaware like to call it is lower, slower. Fun fact: I share this everywhere I go. I have to, and I usually share this at banquets when we serve chicken. But I come from a county in Delaware, Sussex County, Delaware, where chickens outnumber humans 900 to 1. 900 to 1, yeah. So usually what would happen is if they were serving chicken at the banquet, I would say you're welcome for the meal. But we didn't tonight, so I can't say that. So I guess the joke's invalid. But anyway, I'm truly honored to be here tonight. A little bit about myself. I just graduated from a community college, Delaware Technical Community College in Delaware, with an associate's in architectural engineering. Moving on to the University of Maryland in the fall to study architecture. Like I said, I'm from Millsboro, Delaware. Troop 382, who's actually in camp this week, which makes it an even more amazing visit to Camp Horseshoe once again. It couldn't have happened at a better time. I'm an Eagle Scout, Vigil Honor member from Nantego Lodge. I was inducted into the Order of the Arrow in the spring of 2015, and most recently in my life, last December, I had the opportunity and privilege to be elected as the 2019 National Chief of the Order of the Arrow. Something it seems like most of you all know about, but just in case, some of my responsibilities include for the year, I serve as one of 3 youth members on the Boy Scouts of America's National Executive Board, along with the National Sea Scout Bosun and the National Venturing President. I serve as one of 2 youth members on the National Order of the Arrow Committee, along with my Vice Chief Eric Harrison, who's actually here with us today. And last but not least, I have the amazing opportunity to travel all around the country, speak to different groups of people, go to different leadership seminars, different conclaves, different conferences that are happening, LODs, Lodge banquets, you name it. I've probably been to them, and I've had the opportunity to talk with scouts and scouters from all across the country, and it's been an amazing, amazing opportunity. So I know what you guys are probably thinking now. Why the heck is this guy with weird loops and weird hair up here speaking to us about a camp in Rising Sun, Maryland? And the reasoning behind that is this camp has just as much meaning to me as it does to everyone in this room. And so I'd like to share a few stories and kind of my history with the camp today with you all and how it's impacted my life. So to start off, let's go way back. Saturday, August 4th, 2007, and yes, I did look up the date. Us 8-year-old Matt Parsons was in the car all the way from Lower Delaware up to Rising Sun, Maryland, what seemed like a long car ride at the time, and he arrived at a funny place called Camp Horseshoe. Now, I don't remember much about the day. I was up here to visit my brother, who's 3 years older than me and is here today as well, who had joined scouting 3 years before me and was in camp that week with his troop. I don't remember much about the day, what went on, whether it was Paul Bunyan or Water Carnival. I don't remember how many yellow jackets I got stung by. But I do remember one thing. I remember the Adjutant campfire that night. I don't remember any of the awards that were handed out except for the silver buckle at the end and how much I admired those guys who got selected by their troops to earn the award. But I remember the song at the very end, the Camp Horseshoe song. And I remember they sung it. And for the entire car ride home, and for the entire 2 to 3 weeks after I visited Camp Horseshoe for my very first time, I kept humming the song in my head, humming the song at home, humming the tune of it, getting 1 or 2 words right and probably butchering the rest. But right, that was an amazing feeling to me. I'd never seen anything like that before. I'd never seen a campfire like that at a scout camp. I'd never seen a song that meant so much to so many. Fast forward 3 years, I crossed over into Boy Scouts in 2010, and I'm very excited. I had the opportunity to finally come up to Camp Horseshoe for a full week as a camper. I come up here, I participate in the Trailblazers program, which was an amazing experience. I finally learned my way around camp. I learned how to actually walk the trail all the way down to the pool, which I did not know how to do before. I kept getting lost along the way. I know, laugh, but it was a little bit tough for me at the time. And I took the Nature Merit Badge, and I learned I wasn't a fan of that stuff, but I did take some pretty cool merit badges along the way. And once again, the highlight of my week was the Adjecute Campfire. I had the opportunity to go back there and sit on the opposite side of the fire ring, something that I was very excited about. Once again, watch all the awards get handed out, the silver buckles get handed out. But before that, I was called up to get my first year horseshoe patch and my first year segment. And I remember this very clearly. I remember the camp director at the time saying, once you get the dirt of horseshoe in your moccasins, you tend to come back. And it was true, because for the next 6 years, I came back as a camper, and I loved every single minute of it. Camp Horseshoe has taught me so much that I use both in and outside of scouting. Just for an example, one of the things that I fell in love with at Camp Horseshoe was the formal retreat ceremony that we just had about an hour ago. Something that I still love to see to this day. And in fact, I think we impressed Eric about it because he came up, he said, that flag ceremony was legit. So, but ever since I got into scouting and I came here for a full week, it was my mission to become senior patrol leader and to lead that troop into marching, right? Well, I finally was elected senior patrol leader, and I knew it. I said, this is going to be the year that I take the troop to Camp Horseshoe and we win marching. I practiced that troop for a month beforehand, 2 months beforehand, trying to get them to get their right flanks, the right columns down, and we went that entire week. We didn't win once. So, I was feeling a little bit let down. So I ran again for senior patrol leader, and I won again. And I came back, I said, this is it. This is the year. So I started 3 months out. And I said, we are going to win this year. This is it. I've had 2 years with the troop. They're learning. We didn't have any new boys come in, so we had kind of a solid group of boys to work with. And we came back, and we still did not win the entire weekend. And it was tough, right? But I came back my last year. It was my last year as a under 18-year-old scout. And the senior patrol leader at the time, I decided not to run again. And he asked me if I wouldn't mind leading the troop into marching because he wasn't comfortable the first few nights. And I said, of course, I'd love to. And we did. And of course, the very first night, we had the opportunity to win the marching trophy. And I was so happy. I was ecstatic. Yes. I was so proud of the troop. I was so proud of the hard work that we put in. But now that I look back on it, that was the first time that I really had to kind of experience that sense of long perseverance, right? That 2 or 3 year gap of perseverance, of setting a goal, of achieving it, of sometimes getting knocked back down, going the whole week and not winning the marching trophy, going the whole week again and not winning the marching trophy, and finally coming back out of the blue, asked to lead the troop, win the marching trophy. Camp Horseshoe taught me that. Camp Horseshoe taught me perseverance, which is something I used in and outside of scouting to this day. And I'm so, so grateful for it. The very last year that I was at Camp Horseshoe, we went down to the Adjecute Campfire again. We went through all the awards. We got to the last one, the silver buckle. I just got done doing the OA patch, and I rushed back down because I wanted to see everyone who won the silver buckle, friends who I'd made in troops from coming back year after year, won the silver buckle. And I got to my troop, and they called my name. And I was in so much shock, I couldn't believe it. I walked up, and I gave the leader that was giving it to me a hug, and he put this silver buckle on me, and I walked back to my seat, and the camp staff walked out to sing the closing song. And as they were singing, I began to sing along because I finally, after 7 years, learned every single word to the camp song. And as I was singing that, I started to tear up a little bit. Right? It was a cool moment for me to know that I was selected by my troop once again after being selected for the Order of the Arrow. That best simplifies the Scout Oath and the Scout Law, that I had come up here for 7 years with my troop and taught them, how to survive at Camp Horseshoe, and they elected me to win the silver buckle. And in fact, For 3 straight weeks after I won the silver buckle, I came home every day from work, from school, and I picked up that silver buckle that was on my bureau and I looked at it for like 10 minutes straight every day because I was so in awe that I had won that thing. And in fact, I brought it with me this weekend. It's in my cabin. I was so excited to come back up here. Camp Horseshoe has taught me some amazing things over here, things that I will never forget. I love coming up here, and I didn't quite know how to sum it up to you guys about everything that Camp Horseshoe means to me, but I think the ride into camp today summed it up. I was going through a lot this week, and I didn't really want to bring this up, but this past week my grandmother passed away, and I was at her services yesterday, but I still wanted to come back up here because this is my home, right? This is my home away from home. And as we were riding down Camp Road, the feeling I get when I see the scout roll on the trees, right? That's the feeling that I always want to have. That's the feeling of commitment. That's the feeling of perseverance. That's the feeling of everything that I learned at Camp Horseshoe, right? Walking on the green trail, hearing the river, hearing the drums at the closing retreat, hearing the scouts in the dining hall chanting and singing, right? That's the feeling I always want to have. That's the feeling that picks me up. That's the feeling that keeps me going, that keeps me driving, that reminds me of all the lessons that I learned here at camp. So once again, just thank you, everyone in this room, for your continued support and dedication to this camp, for creating a quality program so that campers like myself can learn lessons and grow up to be competent young men and women. And thank you so much to any staff members who are remaining here for constantly providing a positive attitude for campers. It meant the world to me when a staff member talked to me. I was so flustered I didn't know what to do. It was like talking to the President of the United States. It was just amazing, right? And just thank you so much for creating an amazing place where scouters like me and so many others this week and for weeks and weeks across the summer can come and have another home away from home. Thank you guys so much for having me.